Guys, so I'm gonna come today with a different video than I normally do on my channel. Now the reason being is that, now that I moved to Taiwan and I used to live in California, a lot of the makeup brands here are obviously very different. And I know Asian cosmetics are becoming extremely popular, so I thought I'd give you my review so that you can know whether or not you want to order this product. Now first of all, the product I will be reviewing is from Etude House, and the product I'm going to review is the coveted Precious Mineral Any Cushion. It's a press cushion foundation. The good news is Etude House does sell in the US. I'm not sure about the UK or anything, but in the US they do have an American website, so hopefully with this review you could decide whether or not you want to order. They don't have any stores where you could try the product, but again, hopefully this review will be helpful. This video will be a little bit long because I want to give you as much information as possible so you can decide whether or not you want to get this product. Now first of all, I have the Precious Mineral Any Cushion. Now the reason why I point this out is because they have many different types of this press cushion foundation. This one I have is suited for normal skin to, I would say, borderline oily skin. A little bit oily. If you're extremely oily, I'm not sure if this would be the best product, and I'll get into that. The other versions it comes in is also Precious Mineral Moist Any Cushion, which is suited for the winter time and also for people with very, very dry skin. The next one, they recently came out with Precious Mineral Any Cushion Pearl Aura, where Pearl Aura provides that very Korean drama lady with that very glowy, dewy skin. Now, and the next one is the Summer or Lock in Summer foundation, and it has a different cover for each of them, and they come with different packaging. Lock in Summer is good for very oily skin, and of course the summertime where you want the foundation to last longer. Now, I have very oily skin, and I mean extremely oily skin. And however, I chose this one for the normal to borderline oily skin because I still have a lot of dry patches for my acne. And for that reason, the lady told me that Lock in Summer might emphasize those dry patches. When your acne scar is healing, you get those dry patches. She said it would emphasize that. So I do find that with this, it doesn't really emphasize the dry patches when it's healing. Therefore, I chose this one. Again, I'm very acne prone, so I have a lot of hyperpigmentation, as you can see right here, and I have very large pores on my nose to my cheeks. Now, I would say this particular foundation provides light to buildable, almost medium coverage. It is not a high or a very high coverage foundation, but it's very great for everyday use, because it feels like absolutely nothing on your skin, which is what I really enjoy. Now I would say, again, for everyday usage, but for me it lasts, about 4 hours, and then it starts wearing away very quickly. And also, because I have oily skin, it does tend to look extremely oily at the end of the day. Again, I said, for me, I have extremely oily skin. Perhaps one day I will try the Lock in Summer instead. But about 4 hours. There are other products you could use to extend the wear time a little bit more, but this does come off a little bit easily. I tend to sweat a lot, obviously, in the summer, especially in Taiwan. So when I do kind of, wipe my upper lip or my chin and my cheeks and forehead, I notice the foundation kind of coming off on my hand. I'm not sure if the Lock in Summer would, do this as well, but for this particular foundation, it does. This is a product I use when I'm just going out to hang out with friends in a cool place for maybe 4 hours. And again, if I don't typically wear this to work unless I have a short work day. I do use other products to extend the wear time, which I'll introduce later. In terms of coloring, I use currently W13. I would say I do still use the MAC Natural Mineralized Skin Finish. I think that's what it's called. I'm using up those products, but maybe later on I won't purchase those products because of the animal testing issue. Currently, I would say a more fitting color for my neck, or to match to my neck, would be about medium, the shade medium. And I would say W13 is a little bit too light right now. I would say W24, which is honey beige, and W13 is natural beige. I would say W24 might be a better match for me right now. I'm just using up this product before I move on to the new compact. I've had this compact for about, I would say, I'm guessing about 3 months. So it lasts around 3 to 4 months, and I use it, you know, maybe 3 to 4 days a week. So this is what the product looks like. I should have shown you before. My sponge is a little bit dirty because I just did a demo with it, but it comes with a nice sponge. You just stick your fingers to it and pat your skin, okay? And then it comes with this lid, and this is the actual product. So you just kind of press into it, which you'll see in my demo, and then just pat the product very lightly on your skin. It gives a very nice, almost airbrushed complexion, which I said is very good for my pores. And I do find that it doesn't really sink in and emphasize any lines, any expression lines that I have. They also come in a NO2 or neutral, and it's called light beige. I do find that light beige is so pale. It looks white to me almost. Not like, you know, white out white, but it is extremely, extremely light. If you were a matte color or in the MSF, I would say you have to be using the powder light. I would say most girls here choose that color because they really like looking very pale. They don't mind if their neck doesn't match their face sometimes because they would rather look extremely pale. That's the aesthetic here, is that looking pale and white is more beautiful, whereas, you know, in California we think looking very tan is more healthy and sexy looking. So the darkest color, again honey beige, is not that dark. I would say it's about a medium shade. So if you're any darker, I think you would have to go for a different line in Etude House that comes in darker shades. But in terms of this line, W24, I would say if you're past the medium, it might be too light for you. This product does not, I find that does not oxidize a whole lot. So sometimes oxidation could be a little bit good because it looks darker and it might suit your skin. Whereas with my Covergirl, it does oxidize, and as I mentioned, it kind of suits my sort of more tan looking skin, even if it appears light in the beginning. Anyway, let's talk about some of the products I use to prolong the wear time. So, for my oily skin people, I use, let's wait for the scooter, this product, the All Day Matte Gel by also Etude House, and it's zero sebum, all of this thing. I use it after I moisturize and before I put on this foundation. It's not exactly a primer, it's more of a suppressant of your oil. And I would say it suppresses maybe 50 to 70% of my oil. If I wore this by itself, by 4 hours, I look like my whole face is extremely oily and I would need an oil blotting sheet to get rid of it. But then when I oil blot, it kind of removes some of the color. With this, it makes me look 50 to 70% less shiny. Still look shiny, but not as much, at least. You can use a primer, but since I use this, I don't want to pile on too many products, I don't use a primer. Something else you can use is, of course, using a fine loose powder. This is the Etude House Baby Sweet Sugar Powder. When I bought this, I didn't know this, but it does kind of give you a dewy finish. If you're oily like me, I wouldn't use this because it's emphasizing more shine. I prefer matte powder. So next time I wouldn't repurchase this, but this is a very nice fine powder that gives you a sort of dewy look. Now, if you do wear this foundation or any foundation, if you pile on too much powder, it can get cakey. So be very careful. Use a very fine amount with a very loose brush. I typically use a fine powder with my Real Techniques blush brush because it's so soft and fluffy. Now, in terms of coverage for my hyperpigmentation, I do sometimes use the Surprise concealer kit in number 2, which is their darkest shade, not very dark, from Etude House. Not my favorite concealer. It's almost too creamy and it kind of wears away very quickly. So you do need a concealer if you have hyperpigmentation. Another product I use is also the Face Conditioning Fixer by Etude House. It's supposed to make your makeup last longer. I don't know if it does. Honestly, I don't think it really prolongs it that much, if it does, if any. But I use it because when I powder, sometimes it can look a little cakey, and I find that this product can, if used very carefully, can make it kind of even out and not look so powdery cakey. Now, I can do a separate review on this, so let me know if you want me to do a separate review on this. I would say in comparison to the Urban Decay De-Slip Makeup Setting Spray Oil Control, this has a better nozzle. It's a very fine spray. This has a nozzle that sprays out humongous droplets. And again, I'll get into this if I do a review on this, but that's what I do to prolong my makeup when using this specific foundation. I would say it lasts maybe 6 hours, and by 6 hours with these products, the foundation I would say is like 50% gone. I do ride a scooter. Now that could be a big component to why this foundation wears off so easily, is because scooter, riding really fast, and the wind is blowing away this makeup product. Also, it's very hot. I do tend to sweat a lot, so I'm touching my face and it wears the makeup away too. If I take a tissue and I blot my face right now, product will come off. So it's not a long-lasting product at all. It's just for, on the go. Some people use this to touch up and take it on the go. I would say when you take it on the go and you pile on more and more, it can get cakey. So I just apply it once a day. I don't use this to touch up at all. I don't ever touch up my makeup. So, like I said, overall, I would give this a 4.5 out of 5 for everyday use and not for long-term wear. If you're using it for long-term, this is not something I would recommend necessarily. Like I said, it's for everyday use. It feels like nothing. It feels fantastic, and it looks very, very natural, which is what most girls go for. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Sorry this video is so long. I will now switch to the demo so you could see the product in use. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. If you want me to review any more Etude House products or any makeup products I have, feel free again to leave them down below. I have many products by Etude House now that I'm trying to switch to this non-animal testing cosmetic use products. Alright, if you have any questions, again, leave them down, and have a good day. Bye! Hey guys, so here is the demo portion of this product. So, first I'm going to be applying it with the cushion it comes with on one side, and on the other side I'll be using my makeup brush from Real Techniques, the Expert Face Brush. So, again, you just open it like this, and then you just take the cushion and press in. Now, if you have a freshly new product, mine again is about 3 months old, you would just need to tap it about once, like one firm press, and then it'll cover half of your face, which is nice. But I would say this product lasts about, 3-ish months, okay? Now, in the review portion, you'll see I had some creasing going on in my eyelids. This does kind of crease on the eyelids, so I wouldn't recommend doing it like I did in the video. I didn't want to put on any eyeshadow, so I thought I could cheat my way, but it does tend to crease on, oily spots like your eyelids. So I would just use your normal makeup primer or eyelid primer, and then use a little eyeshadow to even it out. But you'll see, it doesn't quite cover my hyperpigmentation right here and the bumps on my cheeks. But it does cover the under eye circles decently by itself. Like I said, you still need a concealer if you really want to cover the hyperpigmentation and the spots of extreme redness. Again, I'm kind of packing this on because my product is running out, but you'll see how airbrushed and natural my skin looks. And you'll see, my neck looks a little darker, so W12, not the best coloring match for me at this moment, but I just want to use up all the product. Because once you open one of these compacts, they do dry out because, it's a cushion. So you do want to utilize everything before switching onto the new compact. Now, I'm going to use the other side with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. I don't think my camera focuses. So, just same thing, I'm going to take the product and kind of dig into the product, okay? Like I said, if it's a new product, you don't need to press so much. I don't know if this is damaging to the brush for me to like press like this. I'm sure in the very long term it's not quite nice to my makeup brush. But Real Technique brushes I find are very durable, and they're my favorite makeup brand for makeup brushes. Because again, they don't use any animals or anything, and it's from YouTube, the Pixie Woo sisters, and I love their videos and everything, so I absolutely 100% support their makeup brushes. It blends very nicely and everything. They dry very quickly because they're a synthetic material, but you'll see, hopefully you can see, because the side's has a little bit of a darker lighting. With the makeup brush, it provides quicker coverage, and in fact more coverage, but I do find that you have to blend a little bit more. I personally like using makeup brushes. I feel like with sponges it just absorbs, you know, oils and everything, so it's not good for your skin in the long run. So yeah, I typically use the makeup brush rather than the sponge, and plus I don't like the look of a dirty sponge for some reason, so I don't typically use that sponge. But if I'm on the go or traveling, it's a good thing, and you don't have to take a makeup brush. So, overall, that's my demo. Like I said, mine's drying out, so it's not the best representation. This is the coloring. You would see my arm and my neck are a little bit darker than my actual face, but you can still see the bumps and hyperpigmentation, but you can see it kind of gives this very airy look compared to my natural skin where I had, you know, some discoloring and everything. Overall, great everyday product. Very, very soft and natural. It does feel a little bit sticky if I don't powder or, you know, use a spray, but it feels like you're not wearing anything, which is why I like this product. So, if you have any questions, leave them down below, and I'll see you later. Bye!